Hello and welcome into episode 3 of Wheeling Feeling, presented by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration and Wheeling Island Hotel Casino Racetrack. There is a ton of stuff happening in the Friendly City this weekend, but let's start with one brand new event. It is the Juneteenth Soul Food Cook-Off being hosted at Towngate Theatre. I had a chance to speak to organizer Ron Scott of the Wheeling YWCA all about the new event and what you can expect. You'll hear more from him in 30 seconds.
Wheeling Island has your share of $100,000 as part of our summer living giveaways. So join us Saturdays in June, where each week we'll draw 10 lucky winners every hour from 7 to 10 p.m. Play for your chance to win free play or gift cards up to $2,500 each. Pick the progressive and you'll win cash starting at $2,000 or more. Players receive 1 entry for every 50 base points earned. Plus, you'll earn double entries when you play on Mondays and Tuesdays. Only at Wheeling Island Hotel Casino Racetrack.
So, Ron, first off, tell me a little bit about Juneteenth is coming up next week. Tell me a little bit about the holiday and kind of how much you have seen it grow over the last 10, maybe 15 years.
Well, it's one of those truly unique holidays. Like, it commemorates the official emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. Like, the Emancipation Proclamation happened, but it was one of those slow moving processes. So the last enslaved folks to get informed about, how they are now free men and women didn't happen until June 19th, and that spurred the new holiday that we're celebrating. And I've been particularly a fan of it because I remember when in Wheeling, when we had our celebration when Mayor Glenn Elliott decided we were going to have a celebration at Market Plaza. This was a full year before it became a national holiday. And I really liked it because we ended up having the celebration at Wheeling Plaza at the old slave auction block. So there was so many extra reasons of why this was a special moment and a special celebration. And it's meant a lot to me ever since that celebration.
Well, I know the celebrations have really, like you mentioned, grown over the last few years. Now you guys are adding in something a little bit new. Tell me about the Soul Food Cook-Off that you guys are planning on doing on this weekend.
Definitely. Now, we are always trying to make it at least a weekend long type celebration. We don't want it to be a one day kind of thing. So we're always trying to think of things, because there's an entire commission, the Juneteenth Commission, where we all try to figure out what we're going to do to celebrate. And it's involved with a lot of people, Wheeling Heritage, YWCA, local NAACPs, Underground Railroad Museum was involved, Belmont County NAACP, the Griot Society. A lot of folks get involved with making the celebration happen. So we tried to do different things to attract different kind of people. And this year, we came up with the idea of having the Soul Food Cook-Off. And I absolutely love the idea. And I think that it's going to be really, really special.
Well, when you say soul food, tell me about some of the different types of meals people might be able to come out and try.
Well, that's the tough one. When you say soul food, a lot of different dishes pop in people's minds. So what we had to do was try to narrow stuff down to things that we think people might be able to make, or that we know that people make in the Valley, and things that a lot of folks would consider soul food. So we knocked it down into 6 different categories. So we have chicken, we have potato salad, we have greens, we have cornbread, we have sweets, and I always get hung up on the last dish. Chicken, greens, potato salad, mac and cheese. I don't know why mac and cheese always slips in my mind. But our 6 categories are chicken, greens, mac and cheese, potato salad, cornbread, and the sweets. We open up the sweets category for anything. If it's some kind of delicious dessert, bring it on down. And we wanted to accentuate that because, one, food and eating is just universal. It's something that almost anybody can enjoy or love. And also the tie of soul food and how it came about, being the scraps that slaves brought with them from Africa as enslaved human beings. They turned these scraps of food into what people have believed are delicacies. So tying that into the overall celebration of Juneteenth, and then having this cook-off, which opens it up to groups of people that might not even have an interest in soul food. They might not even know what's considered soul food. Like there's some folks that if you said mac and cheese, they would be like, oh, I eat that all the time, and not having any clue that it would be considered soul food. But when they see how some of the folks cook it at the cook-off, they might think differently.
Well, if somebody wants to come out or be a part of the competition, what do they have to do?
Oh, it's very simple. You can go to either Wheeling Heritage or the YWCA, either our Facebook page or our website, and we have a registration link if you want to be a part of the competition. So you can fill the link out, and that will let you enter into one of the 6 categories to enter your dish. And if you just want to come, it's the 16th at Towngate Theatre in downtown Wheeling. And that's $5 to enter, but that $5 does get you your tickets to vote on each of the dishes that you think are going to be good, or the ones that we have the 6 categories laid out for. Now, we also have some judges, because not only will the general public be able to vote on each dish, and each winner in that category, we have medals for them, like best greens and best mac and cheese. But they also have a set of 6 judges who will be voting for the judge's choice and like the overall best dish. So a lot of these folks I'm really excited about a lot of that too, because some of our judges, we have Sam Lapp from Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. We have Chad Stradwick from Stradwick's Fade Cave. We have a community woman named Tanya Waits, who she dabbled in entrepreneurship and some of the stuff where we were making food as well for fairs and festivals. We have Jerry Moore, the Belmont County NAACP president. We have Christina Estel. She's the Underground Railroad Museum director. And we have Diana Bell, and she's the founder of the Wheeling Griot Society. So those judges will just be walking around making their own picks for a whole separate prize for the folks that will win Judge's Choice. So we really are trying to make it nice for folks.
What are you looking most forward to in the foods?
Personally, I am excited about the greens, because I've always been a huge fan, and also I'm thinking about maybe getting back up on the mac and cheese horse, because I don't really fool with a lot of mac and cheese, but this might be my time, you know.
And finally, Ron, can you just talk about the importance of celebrating Juneteenth and continuing to educate people about the holiday as we move forward?
I think that is the tricky yet important part of all of this, because Juneteenth is not like a lot of other holidays. You know, it's based in something that the nation as a whole cannot necessarily be too proud of. The fact that we did keep enslaved human beings even after we said that we were going to emancipate them. But now marking that day as a holiday is very, very important. And I think we have to delineate between folks thinking this is just a Black holiday and thinking that this is an American holiday. Because if you gauge it from the people who are submitting dishes and the people who are judging, you know, the dishes that'll be there, we have a very diverse group of people. And one of the last things we wanted it to think were like we were just going to be pitting Black folks against each other and cooking competitions. No, we would never do something like that. But when you are part of a marginalized group, you often feel like the traditions and the aspects of your culture that you hold dear to you need to be preserved and kept close. So sometimes when you open it up to an entire community the way that we're doing with the Soul Food Cook-Off, it does feel like a part of you are giving things away. But to me, that's the tricky part, because if it's going to become our culture and our holiday, we're going to have to be able to let some folks in, and are going to have to see how we do things, and are going to have to understand that not only is this how we do things, but it's also the way you can do things too. We are in all this together, and the more we think about it, the better we'll end up being in the long run. And I think holidays like Juneteenth remind you of how far we've come as a country, and it has to keep in the front of your mind how much further we still have left to go.
All right, Ron, is there anything that you would like people to know that maybe I didn't ask, or that they should know if they're heading out?
I do think maybe the idea of the cook-off might be, I don't want people to show up thinking they're going to get entire full meals. Everything is sample size. So every person that is submitting food or has a dish that they put in, they're only giving out very small sample sizes for the general public and for the judges. So I know a lot of folks saying, you know, I ain't gonna eat nothing. I'm gonna get down there and tear up. I don't know if that's the right approach. You will be able to eat some of the stuff down there, but again, I just have to stress there will be sample sizes for folks to be able to taste from.
All right, Ron, thank you so much. We're looking forward to it.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate the coverage.
West Virginia's largest restoration company is now in the heart of the Mountain State. With a location in Charleston, joining our branches in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, we'll be there to help when you need it most. Our expert team and state-of-the-art equipment is ready to serve the Kanawha Valley 24 hours a day. From water damage to fire restoration, when disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Another event we have happening this week is the Spectrum of Color 5K Fun Run that benefits the Sean Ramsey Autism Scholarship. This is through the Augusta Levy Learning Center, and this is happening on Saturday morning. I am going to click into Taylor Rise here. Taylor works for Augusta Levy. Taylor, tell me a little bit about the 5K. I know you guys have done this before, and it's been a huge success.
Yeah, so we have done it before in previous years, but we actually brought it back and made some changes. So now it is a little more inclusive. It's an untimed event. It's more sensory friendly. We added color stations, and we also have added bubble stations and a foam station this year. So it'll be even more exciting than in the years past.
Well, you mentioned sensory friendly. Obviously, Augusta Levy Learning Center is known for working with kids with special needs. How important is it to make sure you guys are doing something that incorporates the community, but also that your students can be a part of?
It's so important. And that is one reason why we actually decided to make it a little bit more inclusive, because, you know, it is about our kids and our center. And we just want to continue to give more things to the community, more opportunities to the community that are inclusive, that are, you know, better for all abilities.
Well, tell me a little bit about the race, the course, what people can expect out of the actual experience on Saturday.
Well, hopefully it's a fun experience. But yeah, so it is a 5K, and we did just have to make some changes to the route. So we are actually going to be sharing a video of the course on our social media page. So everybody look for that. And then we will have color stations throughout, bubble stations throughout, and then the foam will be right at the start and then right as they cross the finish line. And we are going onto the trail so that we can avoid some of that downtown construction. I know that was a concern for a lot of people, and especially since we are trying to make it more inclusive, we want it to be safe for everybody. So we will cut onto the trail, and part of it will be on there, and then they'll come back up by the playground. It starts at Heritage Port at the waterfront. It ends there. Yeah, I think that's the gist of that. So,
well, we mentioned that this goes towards a scholarship fund. Can you tell me a little bit about the scholarship, and if people are putting money in, kind of what that money is going toward?
Absolutely. So that is another change that we made. This will now benefit the Sean Ramsey Autism Scholarship. Sean was a BCBA at our center, and she had a child on the spectrum. And so we just want to use this scholarship to continue with her mission and helping as many families as we can to provide them services. So all of the proceeds will go into that scholarship, and we will use that scholarship to help students pay for services that insurance might not cover.
All right. And Taylor, if somebody is interested in coming out and running, or just coming out to cheer folks on, what do they need to know about the event Saturday?
It starts at 8:30. If they are not registered, they can come as early as 7 to start registration. Then registration is still open online. They can go to our Facebook page, and we have an event on there, and our link has been shared on there to register. We will also have a selfie station. So even if you don't want to run, there'll be some other fun things going on. We'll have music, a selfie station, and I think that's it. But yeah, so it starts at 8:30. They can register online leading up to the event, or at 7 a.m. that morning.
All right, Taylor, is there anything I didn't mention or didn't ask that you would like folks to know about the event?
I don't think so. It's a pretty straightforward. Oh, yes, I do know one thing. So this year, since it is more inclusive, it is an untimed event. So anybody that completes the entire course will receive a medal this year.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, good luck with everything. We're looking forward to hopefully having a big crowd out there. And if you can head out Saturday, please make sure you do. Thank you, Taylor.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Another big event this weekend is for people who are fans of the color pink. It's the Pink Party down at Heritage Port. This is being put on by Wheeling Parks and Rec, and there's tons that you can do throughout the night. Things kick off at 6 o'clock with a pink yoga party and will be followed by different food, concessions, vendors, even a chance to get your photo in a bunch of different places down at Heritage Port. And if that's not enough, when the sun goes down, you'll have a chance to view the movie Barbie, which was obviously hugely popular over the last year. Again, everything gets started at 6 p.m. and you can head on down and do it throughout the evening. And that'll do it for this week's Wheeling Feeling. We'll see you back here at same time, same place next week.